The panhandler looked out to the horizon past downtown, to a building standing not that tall but not that small, a brutish snub-nosed panel thing that might be considered brown, the sort of the eyes and a product of an era when the men still had hope, and everyone believed that progress and capital would bring us all prosperity. It might as well have been a secret building now for our panhandler. Nor Sam or even Jake would step foot in the place. It's a place for buyers and sellers, somewhere that a normal man is simply not allowed. If you make it your goal, you'll be knocked down. The marchers could only stand aside and question the shade of brown. The overhang man is starting to make up his ideas. The marchers would rather avoid all these situations. If it is your destination, you better beware, because an influx of people are gathering there. The security man is annoyed he has to get out of his seat and tell the marchers they ain't qualified in to be here. Everyone gets pushed aside and start to melt in the heat. They don't see what all the commotion could be about. The overhang man is angry and wants to knock it down. He's just demonstrating why it is so far from downtown. The red man stands and says he can do one better. I can make it larger and louder and put more windows in. I don't care if it gets bad reviews, neither capitalism or communism or democratic. The president is still mashing the gas, rosary hanging off the rear view mirror. Jumping the curb so the panhandler dives out of the way. Q is seeing commies everywhere and is chasing the red man. Run up the abandoned shops where the workers forgot to show up. Nothing is being sold here except bulk empty boxes. Q is rifling through them and shouting something controversial, but when the man turns around, he's just shooting a commercial. The partygoers are getting very antsy because the president's late. He's going through some bad neighborhoods and his wife is pissed. The diocese is a little embarrassed by the venue and makes an order for the doors to be blocked up by wood so no one can get in. It can't make the place look any worse, they reason amongst themselves. One of the rich men starts piling decaying flesh on his plate and thinks to ask what will happen when the president shows up. Won't he be upset that all the doors are locked and all the alarms are going off with the raging blaring? The head bishop laughs, shakes his head, and starts swearing. The architect sits down to revise his plans. He's got his blueprints in front of him and all his pencils and pens. His hand starts moving and his brain won't stop rattling because the books he's read have instilled ugly pictures in his head, and he can only make mental lines cascade down. His boss scratches his head and throws him on the street, where he learns to smash up painkillers and snort them. The president pulls over to the side of the road and asks, "Can I join you? And we can have a rather regal party." They are getting ready to create something quite arty. Q tells everyone the president's coming, but no one believes him because they would never come here. It's too hot, and there isn't enough to do, and the governor hates him. No, trust me, the governor is hanging out with him. And the limo is stuck on the side of the road on 635. The marchers start to grumble and mull in disgust, thinking that he's going to skip this part of the parade. The man under the overhang sells magnets and bangs on his pan. The cops come to break up and club all the survivors, while the president is giving the finger to the slow drivers. Sam stumbles upon the architect and shares a nickel. The old boss starts to put the project together anyway. The men in the yellow hats start to crowd around, and the crane is flying a broken and ripped flag. The bishops have eaten all the refreshments meant for the president. They start to get nervous because they still have a death penalty here. The phone starts ringing, but they collectively hallucinate silence. The governor's reading the phone book to his busy secretary. The building just sits in silence awaiting its moment of fame, not aware that history will bypass it, and it won't stake its claim. The old man is laying out all the ties he stole from the architect because he's looking forward to impress the president, who's chasing his new friend through the theater, disturbing the audience, who are trying to watch the story about a power-hungry man who is so addicted to shiny things he kills and maims everyone in his path. Even though he gets what he deserves, the president escapes before this and thinks about how he'll tell his wife how he spent the day, telling everyone what to do, what's wrong, and how it should be run. Sam tries to enter and is met by the usher in the front, who tells him they're clearing out the place for a manhunt. The vice president's looking for his boss when someone accidentally tells him the building isn't finished, and his response is to threaten to put him in the draft and ship him to a country he's never heard of or seen on TV. The dignitaries are gathered below and have never seen this behavior, and they try to take pictures. They're tossed out with panhandler. The overhang man's pamphlets are ripped into shreds, and the security man calls him and his actions immoral. He starts digging through everyone's bags because he smells a strange odor, and he empties the trash can onto the briefcase of a loader. The bank lenders swing by the party, but their appointment is canceled. A couple bishops are sacrificing a witch and are coming for Q. Next, and this is all under the supervision of the president, at least that's what Q's mind starts creating. The plaza empties out and the delivery trucks speed off. Their destination is filled with stop signs, but the panhandler's ignored. He holds his cup in amazement at the best motorcade. They're all pressing up against the locked and bolted door. The architect bursts in to calm the bishops because he was the first to discern that the president won't make it. He took a wrong turn.